Afia aho, I say namaste and blessings to all. Thank you for watching Shadow of Woes. Okay guys, here goes. I have so many people messaging me questions and everything. Number one, I do apologize. I was going through New York, and that was an agreement that I made with my godson and giving him the liberty to go to the Botanica that he wanted to go to pick up certain things that we needed for his santo. So let's begin. Let's talk about Orisha and the development of going into Ocha and getting crowned. And blessings to my godson, who will soon be the Yawo. I took a break, as we all take a break, just to explain this video to you, to explain that when you are going into Orisha faith, and when you have your guardian angel marked, do know at that very time that it should be confirmed. So those who are new elders, and blessings to all Lagua, and blessings to all those, and bendición to my madrina, my padrino, and bendición to my yubon, and Ibaru, Iboya, Ibosheshe, to all aluos, and to my godfathers, and so forth, and salamu alaikum to my padrino as well, and all of those blessings to those who have brought me into this faith and who have taken the time to teach me so much and to teach me from the heart. Now, in getting into this, okay, and bendición and blessings to all my enemies, seen and unseen, to all my enemies, dead or alive. Now, as we're going into Ocha, it doesn't mean because someone says that they're a child of a certain guardian angel that you just take that and run with it. If you, as a new godparent, and I'm talking to those because I'm not overstepping my boundaries when it comes to elders older than me, but you cannot just be like, oh, you're a child of Ogun? Oh, okay. Number one, how was it marked? Was it marked through Orumila? Iboru, Iboya, Ibosheshe. Do you have your warriors? Is that confirmed through paper with the Babalao or the Aluo and so forth? Okay, was that confirmed with the Obariate and so forth? So it is always reconfirmed, okay? And as I'm taking time to tell you this, when you are, especially in working a Guerrero, in working Oya or Ogun or Chosi, Elegua and so forth, Agayu, all right, and giving you a few examples, nothing can be missed. Absolutely nothing, because then you're interfering with the completion of that person's crown. So for example, and I'm not giving secrets, but we do know Oya's number is 9, for those of you who have the intelligence and experience of knowing that, right? So therefore, Oya's children really have to have 9 misas, okay? And they have to go many different places for Ibo. Now, it takes even 16 Ibos for Orishas like a Chosi and so forth, and different presentations. Not going deep into that. So please, for those of you listening, calm down. If you don't like what I'm saying, change the channel, keep it moving. This is people who appreciate knowledge and want to have direction. So now, what does that mean? So it doesn't mean because we are sitting there that on the Adon, or we're sitting there, that we are literally crowned. If we didn't go and do these different Ibos and we left anything out of our ceremony, I don't care how beautiful it is or how beautiful it appears to be. The Orisha is not into fanciness. They're not into beauty. They're into the ache of doing everything right. So when that Orisha is being born, they were already a witness of going into the throne, and they already been to those different places that they're supposed to go and did the Ibos, so that Orishas doesn't just sit on the head. There's many things, preparations before, especially when it comes to warrior Orishas, okay? So in understanding that, do know that it's a lengthy process that should take patience and time, because as my ancestors would say, personally, haste makes waste. Okay, so when you understand like for example, when we're serving them, you guys know, especially when we're doing drummings or ceremonies, Orisha, they eat. We give them their food in a hikara. We don't put metal trays. We don't put plastic. I'm very old-fashioned and old school when it comes to dress, for example. Like I wear my long dresses and clothes and so forth, and I believe that women should dress appropriately. They should you know, right now I'm hot, so I have my jacket and so forth. But do understand that clothes, no matter what it is, should be in appropriate attire when it comes to governing ceremonies or going to tambours. So what does that mean? When we cannot mix practices, I've seen a lot of practices, sadly, that I did not expect, mixing. So what does that mean? And mixing practices, I'm talking about, like, if a spirit is down in a mesa blanca, they have no business telling anyone in how or what belongs in Orisha ceremony. It's unethical, it's a collective plan of trying to do something, and it's incorrect. Okay, just like a trosi, if a trosi comes down in a drumming or ya comes down, it's not for her to say, oh, you know, when you're going to get scratched, telling an aleo that when you're going to get scratched, you have to do this, and you cannot do that, and put this, you know, a thema down. It just, they are different worlds, okay? I say alafia aho, I say namaste, that is my greeting. But when it comes to understanding the division, as many santeros are scratched, many of us got 21 divisions before we went in, many of us got sanse, some were actually Hindu. We're not what we call in Haitian culture, in my husband's culture, pancake. You know, a lot of mambos or bakors, with all blessing, might say we're pancake, because with respect to them, they stick to one thing. Whereas santeros, we definitely have to be, because we follow African Cuban way, or they say Cuban African way. So we do recognize the masses, the Catholic masses, as we know our ancestors hid a lot of the Orishas in the different Catholic saints, which is another conversation for another time. But this is a process. When you're going in, your godparents, as well as you, have to have love for each other. You have to have understanding. It really breaks my heart when people don't fully communicate or they miscommunicate. Have understanding and talk about what you don't understand. But do know there is a thin line, and it should be a respected line between the spirits of the white table and Orisha. Okay, we don't mix practices where a spirit will try to shortcut a ceremony on behalf of favoring the godparents, I don't know, finances or whatever it is. So what's most important is, and I hope that nobody's taking this personal, as there is a million people in this world and not everything pertains to whoever's taking this personal, but it needs to be known, as over the past few weeks, I've been hearing certain things. There's certain people that I've been helping and to getting things, you know, done and straightened out. So don't get caught up in the glitz and the glam. Oh, Ochun has glitter and sequins and she's so beautiful with a big gown. That's not what it's about, guys. Orisha represents the asheses, the ashe of Olodumare, the ashe of Olofi, the ashe of Olorun. That's what they represent. It's not about beautifying and material things. In Africa, they have so much ashe because why? They respect the Orisha and what goes with it, and all of the ashe is with nature. Okay, it is not about, oh, let me put this beautiful sopera together. Okay, we want our stuff to look nice because now we have transitioned to the new worlds. But do remember, it takes a lot more than that. So if the crowd, if, for example, with LA Guad, there's certain things not done and that's missing when they're sitting there, even if everybody's singing, then you have nothing done. But I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If you're watching this video, do know that you're innocent. It's not your fault. But at the same time, try to respect and listen to those elders that are knowledgeable. So, excuse me, for example, right? If I don't know something, because as my Padrino Victor of Olokun and Elegua and Agayu, who lifted me to be the Yayi and of many, many godchildren in Palo, he told me, if you don't know something, ask. This religion is so old that it takes years and years, and people are still learning. So if I don't know something, guess what? I'm going to ask. Plain and simple. Okay, there's nothing wrong with asking, but do know you cannot get caught up in the beauty of things. Do know that we need to separate, just like now they're separating church and state. You need to separate Orisha tradition, for example, with Judaism. It's not the same. We need to separate the church and Orisha tradition. Shango Baptist is, with all due respect, is long. Now everybody knows better because they have come out of slavery and from the 50s have gotten knowledge. But it is separate because it's the same Christian church that has dominated and hurt the children who of the Orisha, for the priests and priestess, if that would help, understanding what I'm saying. They have dominated them. So why will we mix the Christian church with Orisha? We separated. We know that some people's eguns and their spirits come first, and their ancestors. So because we are Santeria, we are African Cuban, some people say Cubano, Africana, and so forth, we recognize separately. For example, we did misas already, so we recognize separately about the misas. We recognize that is separate before you go into Orisha, but you don't fuse the same together. I'm very proud of my godson, as he has worked 2 jobs for a very long time to save his crown, and they will see the sacrifice of him working really, really hard and putting everything he can into the ceremony where many Santeros have traveled and of faith. I'm also thankful because he flew me in with all respect, and with so much love and loyalty, I am here. And I have to be humble and say, if it wasn't for Orisha, if it wasn't for Lodumare, if it wasn't for Egun, if it wasn't for my spirits, and Oya and Atroci and so forth, and Maferefuno Batla, and for him, because there are millions of Santeros here that he knows, but thank God he chose me, humbly speaking, and he didn't have to. So this is the Ashe of Orisha, and we have known each other many, many years. Stay tuned for some old photos later on, because now he's going in, so he can't take any pictures or anything as a Yabo, as we know. So I hope that this answered your question. Orisha work is very, very intricate. Remember, when you're ready, for those of you who already have Santo made, you have to have hikaras. I have seen horrible things where people are serving the Orisha. It's different for your Santo birthday, but they're serving them, on plates, on plastic or metal. My gosh. Please, everything has to be done right and correctly with love. And once they know that you have the love, that's what's most important. So I have to go now. I took this video on a whim, and I will make sure, in protection of my godson, to save it and upload it when I'm ready. Okay, so I'm sending you love to you all, and I hope that covered a lot. I have so much to tell you, but in answering some of you and your questions, be careful when you have godchildren that are coming in with different Orishas. It has to be confirmed. You have to have proof, and they have to do all the ceremonies. Spirits do not speak up for the ceremony and what does and what doesn't do for the Orisha. And like I said, I'm sending you all of you love and blessings. It's sad that we can't all come together, but this year we're supposed to. And I love the way I have seen people that I haven't seen for many, many years. And I'm sending you all love. Alafia, aho, I say, namaste. I'm so tired. Blessings to all of you, and welcome to Shadow of Wolves. Thank you.